Soloing in Delta Force can feel like you're up against the world, but with the right strategies, you'll dominate the battlefield. Today, I'm going to share 5 essential tips with you to help you survive and thrive when you're playing alone. From picking the right operator to mastering positioning, these tips will give you the edge you need to win. As always, guys, if you enjoy the video and you find some use out of it, make sure you leave a like, comment some feedback for future uploads, and of course, subscribe with post notifications on, that way you guys don't miss a video. If you guys would like to see me implement some of these tips in my gameplay, make sure to come by the stream where I'm live almost every day, and also check out the Discord in the description so you can join and be part of the community, ask me any questions that you have, and of course be notified whenever the stream goes up and a new video goes live. Enjoy the video, guys. Peace. Choosing an operator in Delta Force is one of the most important decisions you'll make. While it's tempting to rely on tier lists or recommendations, the most crucial factor is picking one you genuinely enjoy playing. After all, this is a game, and forcing yourself to play an operator you don't like just because someone said they're the best will likely hurt your experience. If you enjoy aggressive gameplay, operators like Viron with his dash or D-Wolf with his slides might suit you best, allowing for fast-paced engagements and quick escapes. For those who prefer slower, tactical gameplay, Catclaw with her silent step or Shepard with his traps offer excellent tools for a more methodical approach. That said, some operators aren't as well suited for solo play. Seneva's EOD set can feel clunky as it forces you to holster your weapon, which is a significant disadvantage when fighting alone. Similarly, Toxic, while unique, lacks the versatility to shine in solo matches beyond her faster healing ability. For an all-around solid pick, Stinger is a great option. His line smokes provide excellent utility for both offensive pushes and defensive retreats, while his medpen helps keep you alive without burning through expensive healing items. Another strong contender is Luna, whose scanning ability is perfect for identifying threats in open areas. Her utility skills can secure kills on downed enemies or block angles, giving you control over the battlefield. Uluru is also another excellent solo operator. His guided missile can knock enemies behind cover and even secure kills. His Molotov gives him options to lock down pathways and control movement. And if you're under fire, you can always use his deployable cover, give yourself a little bit of safety. I know you don't want to hear me say just buy gold ammo and gold armor, but gear really does make or break your fights, especially when you're playing solo. Since you're already at a disadvantage, it's crucial to level the playing field wherever you can. With the recent armor changes increasing damage reduction to 50% against same tier armor and 25% against one tier lower armor, having better armor is more important than ever. The extra durability can save your life, letting you peek longer to secure a knock or survive just long enough to reset behind cover. At the very least, I recommend using purple tier armor. Most players at this stage in the game are running blue or better ammo and armor, so anything less puts you at a significant disadvantage. For ammo, make sure you carry blue bullets for general use and purple bullets in your safe container for player encounters. And don't forget to actually load that high tier ammo into your gun before fighting. I've made the mistake too many times of double headshotting an enemy only to leave them standing because I forgot to switch from my blue ammo. If you can't afford it, always run tier 5 armor and gold ammo. It's a game changer, allowing you to tank hits from weaker ammo and dominate those using lower tier gear. The investment is worth it for the massive advantage it gives you in fights. Knowing the map and its key areas can make the difference between dying in the first 30 seconds of your raid or successfully ambushing an unsuspecting squad. Understanding operator spawns is crucial to surviving these early moments, especially as a solo player. To help with this, I've included a link in the description to the official Delta Force interactive map. Spend some time studying it and memorizing every spawn point. This knowledge will allow you to avoid early detection, giving you a better chance of staying alive and setting yourself up for success. Now let me share the best solo rotations for each spawn on Zero Dam. These routes are designed to keep you out of high traffic areas while maximizing loot efficiency. The interactive map also highlights loot container locations, so you can plan your routes carefully and loot everything along the way. By mastering rotations and playing with awareness, you'll consistently avoid danger and create more opportunities to take control of your raids. So I'm going to go over these Zero Dam spawns really quickly just to give you guys a brief rundown of what I would do if I was in the situation of these spawns. If I spawn in this pipeline area, it's probably the worst spawn in the game since you have this team and barracks probably pushing in, as well as this team that could spawn right outside. I would just hold this door here. This is a breach door right here at the end of this long hallway. I would just see if this team breaches in. If they do, I have a really easy head glitch over these pipes right here, see if they push in. If they don't push in, I would probably just either push out myself, or I would come over here to barracks if I want to fight a team that spawns here. Usually when they push in, they'll hold this building and there will be some shots, so you'll know if somebody's there. If you don't feel comfortable pushing that, obviously you can just go out to the left here through this tunnel and then wrap around the south side of the map here and just get out. I spawn outside here. I'm going to sit here at the front of the tunnel here. Actually, I'll do the opposite as if I was inside. I would sit out here in front of the door. of this long hallway for the breach. I would see if this team inside pushes. If they don't, I would probably wrap south here and check to see if the spawn is here. If the spawn isn't here, I would just keep wrapping south. If, for instance, I spawn here in the south, I would try to get out of this chokehold as quickly as possible, as if I push up here, this team that spawns outside the tunnel might push me, and they might try to hold me and keep me from doing anything. So when I get the spawn, I try to push out as quickly as possible, come out here to the right. There's a little tunnel you can break the wooden barriers to and go into, and just hide for a little bit, let everyone rotate more towards the center of the map, give you some more space. I would recommend probably not pushing over into cement, as this team that spawns in cement could just be up top holding either the jump up or this hole in the wall right here or the main entrance, so it's a little hard to push cement. If I get the spawn inside cement, I usually just end up going straight up the stairs to the second floor and just holding and seeing if anyone comes out of this door, if anyone pushes through the hole here, or if anyone tries to come over the climb up. It's a really easy way to hold up here. It's really hard to push. There's only 2 stairways that lead up. They're very easy to hold, and you can also see all the different entrances into cement from this area other than this north one, which usually most people don't come through, so you don't really have to worry about that. You do also always have the option to go into the underground now through this little entrance over here on the east side of cement, so that's another option for rotating. If I get this spawn south of cement, I would probably just run to the east and loot all of this area. Mini sub usually goes unlooted, so I like to loot that as well, and just keep heading towards the east side of the map. When it comes to barracks spawns, if I get the spawn right here or even in the tunnel, I will usually just end up running up here along this road and getting onto the second floor of this barracks building. Usually this team will end up being right around in this exit of the tunnel here when you get to the building, so just be aware of that. It's not the best fight since there is a smaller little maintenance tunnel exit on the side of the tunnel someone could take, but you do have options to peek the front of the tunnel or to come to this little side of the containers and peek the little exit door from the maintenance tunnel. So if you feel comfortable taking that fight, that's what I would do. Otherwise, I would probably just end up pushing over to admin, or maybe pushing to the containers over here from either this tunnel or this front spawn, and just looting the containers and then maybe heading to my extract that way. You could also even just go south here to the canyons and see if this team spawned down here and just kind of take it slow if you want to avoid the north area of the map, since there's usually a lot of PvP there. If I get the spawn here to the northwest of substation, usually what I tend to do is run to the left and get on top of the SAM turret right here, and I'll hold to see if this team either pushed right here through the trucks, if they pushed down here on this side of the wall through the grass, or to see if this team in the tunnel pushes all the way back. Usually by the time when you get to this area, either peeking this gate right here or on the turret, this team will end up crossing back here behind the truck to go to the scissor lift that takes them up into admin, so you'll be able to see if anyone goes in that way. Otherwise, I would probably go south here into major sub and to loot this, or I would just go south into the tunnel and then just keep rotating to the west here to my extract. If I get the spawn to the northeast of substation, I usually tend to push into admin, since it is a pretty much direct route into admin. It's one of the closest spawns to admin other than this one, which this spawn usually doesn't occur when you get this northeast spawn. So you'll just be competing with one of these 2 teams over here, or this team that spawns at the top of the zip lines. I'll either push into admin, or I'll just come over here to the checkpoint and just wait and listen if this team comes down the zip lines. If they don't come down the zip lines, I'll probably look at visitor center for a fight, or I'll just look to go south and then west just to loot all of this and get to my extract. If I spawn on the top of these zip lines over here to the northeast, I'll usually just end up running to the north. I'll just take the zip line across, and if this team that spawns by the trucks here ends up going into the parking lot, usually when you come across these zip lines, you'll see them running in this area, so it's really easy to spot if somebody came in or not. You can always come down the zip lines, then go into parking and loot that yourself, and then into admin, or you could just stick around the backside here and loot the containers and then just keep rotating west to your extract. If I get the spawn here to the south of substation, usually I'll just end up running up here to the hill and checking to see if this team has rotated through here to go to the hole in the wall to enter sub. This is a really good ambush spot to see if these guys come down the hill, because there's not really much cover here. So I'll either do that, or I'll just keep rotating west, loot substation, loot the canyon area, and then just hit this west extract. If I spawn between visitor and sub, since I'm in the middle, I want to try to get to the edge of the map pretty quickly, so that way no one's rotating through the center to get to me. So I'll just run to the south here, come to the south entrance. Usually this team will have just pushed into visitor center. Most teams don't run to the left and avoid it unless there's maybe no safe or no PC. Then teams might avoid visitor center and maybe just go straight for sub or admin. So just be careful of that when you're running around this south road right here. But usually I'll just push in and I'll just hold for a team to see if anyone's here. Loot it if no one's there, fight them if they are. It just kind of just depends on how I'm feeling about it. And for the south spawn is kind of the same thing. I just run straight through here, come into visitor center. Usually if there's no safe or PC, these teams that spawn over here will usually just rotate to the west or the northwest to admin. So usually you can loot visitor center for free. And then of course for this very east spawn, I will usually just climb up here into the second floor of visitor center, try to hold this breach door in the back and see if anyone's coming in that way. Otherwise I will just rotate all the way to the south and just keep going to the west along the edge of the map and hit my extract there. When it comes to PvP in Delta Force, engaging in a fight is usually optional. If the odds aren't in your favor, you can often reposition or escape, provided you haven't backed yourself into a poor position. But if a fight is unavoidable, your best strategy as a solo player is to turn a 1v3 into a series of 1v1s. Here's what I mean. Force the enemy team to split up and take individual fights with you. Use smokes to block off multiple angles, or grenades and shock arrows to lock down doors and funnel enemies into choke points. Knowing the layout of buildings and using your utility effectively will help you isolate opponents, giving you the upper hand. Always keep an escape route open. With the addition of tunnels on Zero Dam, you now have even more rotation options to outmaneuver teams and keep them guessing. Make sure to rotate frequently and unpredictably to stay one step ahead. Speaking of unpredictability, don't peek the same angle repeatedly. Holding angles is extremely powerful in Delta Force due to the low TTK, but becoming predictable can get you killed. Switch it up by peeking from different positions, stand and lean, crouch and lean, or even get creative by using desks, windows, or doorways. Keep your opponents guessing. Another critical tip is to always finish your knocks, if it's safe to do so. Eliminating a player puts more pressure on the enemy team, extends the revive timer, and if they don't have a stinger, revived players will return with 20 fewer HP. This makes them much easier to deal with in subsequent fights. Finally, remember that playing solo is about controlling the pace. Put the enemy team in a pressure cooker by forcing them to make mistakes. Stay calm, avoid overcommitting, and only push when you've secured a clear advantage. There's no shame in holding angles and waiting. Patience is one of the most powerful tools for a solo player. Sound is one of the most powerful tools in Delta Force. Knowing when to move quietly or when to create noise intentionally can make all the difference in your survival as a solo player. Picking low-risk areas not only minimizes encounters with other players, but also lets you deal with NPC guards more discreetly, keeping you off the radar. To stay stealthy, use Luna's shock darts, Hacklaw's throwing knives, or a suppressed pistol to silently eliminate guards. If you're feeling particularly brave, you could even melee them for maximum stealth. Here's how to handle NPC guards effectively with melee. For normal guards, aim for the head to take them out in 1 or 2 knife swipes. Use cover or smoke to break their line of sight and keep them from firing their weapon, which would draw attention. For shield bearers, you can take these out by quickly knifing through the visor of their shield or moving around behind them and hitting them in the head with one well-placed swipe. Minigunners, while being seemingly tougher enemies, can be easily taken down by just hitting them 2 times in the head with your knife. Being quiet doesn't just help you with NPCs, it also reduces the chance of alerting nearby players. By mastering stealth and sound management, you can move through the map undetected and maintain the element of surprise. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed the video and you found some usefulness out of it, please make sure to leave a like, comment some feedback for future videos, and of course, subscribe with post notifications on. That way you guys don't miss an upload. We did just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate you guys for all the support recently. I've already surpassed my personal goals for the year. I wasn't sure how much success we would find with the channel, but of course, you guys have been absolutely killing it, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. See you guys. Peace.